Here is my recap and review of The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 6, which is Chapter 14, entitled The Tragedy. In this episode, Din gets rejected by the Force 3 different times. We have a massive family reunion, and Din's ship gets damaged again. Let's get this recap started. They waste no time getting to the storyline in this episode. It starts out with him on Tython. He has found where he needs to bring the child, and it's up on a top of a little hill. And there looks like a little altar area set up. Now, Din kind of circles around there, and there was a really cool shot of him looking out the window. Looked really cool. And as he's circling it, the camera pans around inside the ship, and you see Grogu kind of like his eyes are going all over the place. It was really kind of funny. They can't land because there's nowhere to land around this hill, so they have to fly in using the jetpack. Din takes the child, puts him on the altar, and nothing happens. Then he hears something enter the atmosphere, and he turns around. The Slave One has entered into the atmosphere and lands. He turns around to tell Grogu that we're out of time, but that's when he's finally communicating with the Force, and there's this blue force field around him going straight up into the sky. Din tries to go get him, but is pushed back by the Force, and that actually happens to him 2 more times during the episode. Well, Boba Fett's back, and he brought the girl that Din had left for dead on Tatooine in Season 1. She's not actually dead. That surprised Din, and he's glad to see her, but they're there to basically get the armor back. Boba Fett wants his armor. During that exchange, Boba Fett agrees to help Din get the child back in exchange for the armor. While they're talking, there's an Imperial ship that enters the atmosphere and also lands and unleashes a ton of stormtroopers. That's when Din goes back up and for the final time tries to get the child and is pushed back and he's knocked unconscious. So it's only up to the two, the girl and also Boba Fett, to fight off the stormtroopers. And we find out Boba Fett is a badass in this episode. Like, he can use that Tusken staff and he goes to town. Now he finally finds an opportunity to go in and grab his armor, so he does, and he comes back out and is able to use his armor, and it is, again, it's pretty freaking awesome. So they almost take care of the first transport when a second transport enters the atmosphere and lands and unleashes more stormtroopers. Now, at the same time, we have 4 dark troopers, the things that Moff Gideon was looking at a couple of episodes ago. We have 4 dark troopers that land and take the child because he finally stops communicating with the Force, falls over unconscious. The 4 dark troopers take him and fly off into the atmosphere. So that's when Boba Fett decides to get into the Slave One and go after him to try and get the child. And when he goes up there, he notices this huge Imperial ship and makes the comment, the Empire's back. And he can't get the child without endangering the child. So he comes back. Now, during all of this, there is a shot that comes from that Imperial ship before we could actually see it that actually destroys Din's ship. The Razor Crest gets blown to dust. In fact, the only thing left is the staff that he actually acquired in the last episode. So at the very end, we've got all of them talking together, the 3, the girl, Boba Fett, Din, and Boba Fett tells him, look, I promised to protect the child, so I'm going to stick to that. We're going to go with you along this journey to get him back. And the very last shot is them going back to get Cara Dune to go back after and go get the child. So we've got some returning members. Bill Burr is going to be back. They are looking for him as well, and we're going to see how that ties into the story in upcoming episodes. But we've got a lot going on. Who did Grogu actually communicate with? We don't know. That's bringing a whole nother storyline into this. What does Thrawn have to do with anything? Are we going to have Ahsoka Tano again in the final 2 episodes? We've got Moff Gideon back. Like, there's going to be, it looks like the final 2 episodes are going to be pretty amazing. And it looks like that's going to be kind of the formula that this show follows. Like, we're going to have 4 or 5, episode of the week type episodes, story of the week. And then the final 3 or 4 are going to be big story episodes. So we've got quite a bit of action, I'm sure, is coming up in the final 2 episodes. So look forward to that in the coming 2 weeks. I'll have those reviews up as soon as those get released as well. I do appreciate you watching the video. Please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you will be notified when I have new reviews go up.